I finally made a boss level for my game, Starhead. Although making this boss sometimes made me want to throw myself off a cliff, I had an absolute blast making it. In case you're new here, this is a head-throwing, body-teleporting, physics-not boring platformer. Now before I get into this, let me bring you up to speed on things. The fecal matter, also known as my previous artwork, crushed my artistic ambitions into despair. My digital skills at this point involve me impatiently placing pixels all over a blank canvas with whatever random thing I feel like making next. After spending an entire week trying to reanimate the player, I realized that this was just beyond my power. It's a relief that I can always buy and tweak pre-made art assets and use this inverse kinematic manager to prototype animation. I even made this Samus jump for fun. Thanks to the love and support I received from Reddit, I decided to expand the scope of this game for commercial release and design every conceivable mechanic within the scope. I originally aimed for 6 big, hyper-complex bosses, but after just having a few play testers, I realized now these bosses were going to be too damn hard and ruin the pacing of the game. I ended up dropping 2 of the bosses and kept what I thought would be the easiest to build and then split up their behaviors into smaller variants, totaling to about 12 bosses. This is why I will never finish this game. Math concepts, Greek names, distinguishes these boss classes, starting with the wall tank betas, aka the Cartesian family. Next we got the calculus insectidroid lambdas, the mechanism snake crane deltas, and finally the rotating wrecking ball thetas. Because it's been 3 years since I made a real boss level, I decided to reinvent my old boss code from my first game as a warm-up. This time, however, instead of randomness, I aimed for linearity, which I may end up going back to a more random movement style, but at least for now, I know how to set up attack combos. I designed its notorious charge attack to force the player to actually use the jump button. I plan to add some visual cues to give players a better chance of reacting, but for now it's just going to be like this. The wall tank betas shoot out what I call normal and tangent bullets, which are named and inspired by the axes of a collision graph. I tried to use this concept before in an old puzzle mechanic, but it didn't fit into game design at the time. However, I did tweak it to test this cool elevator platform puzzle. For this beta tank variant, you have to hit the base cover a few times in its first phase. For the second phase, you just have to pop off the batteries. At least that's what I'm going to call them for right now. Now you may be surprised to hear that I did the art for the boss myself. It was initially intimidating to turn this simple concept art into something with depth and texture. But let's think about this for a second. Fundamentally, this is a tank and a robot. Robots are computers, but so are Xboxes. Xboxes and robots kind of rhyme. Therefore, tankbot. Now we have a lead on what to Google for texture inspiration. I may not always have the best attitude towards making art, but I did enjoy sitting down peacefully drawing on my tablet. Whether I'll keep making art for the rest of my game is still up for question, but we will see. Obviously, I'm no expert, so I'd like to hear from you guys and what you think. This video may be a whole month behind of what I'm actually doing, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. Feel free to hit that like button. I mean, you're not really forced to, but that's why I said feel free. So, and check out my game on Steam and wishlist so that maybe I can do this full time.